Zamfara State House Assembly, Majority Leader
What?
Bello Muhammad Mazawaje, Chief Whip Honorable Rowanu Marafa Anka, Deputy Majority Leader Honorable Nura Dahiru Sabon Ben Ali, and Deputy Chief Whip Honorable Shamsuddin Hassan Basko. We thank this opportunity to facilitate with the nominees on their respective nominations and look forward with optimism to a fruitful and collaborative working relationship between the party and the House of Assembly, aiming toward the advancement of the People's Democratic Party and people of Zamfara State. While appreciating your usual cooperation, kindly accept the assurance of our esteemed regard, please. Sincerely yours. Signed by Nazir Ibrahim Rufai, Secretary for the Chairman. Honorable members, having contained the letter sent by the ESCO or the People's Democratic Party, it is your wish. Those in support this motion to say aye, those against to say nay. The ayes have it. All members, it is your wish to honor the governor with the privilege of presenting the year ending 31st December 2026 appropriation bill, which stands as first reading of the money bill pursuant to the provision of Order 12, Rule 18, Sub 1 of the Zamfara State House Assembly Standing Orders 2024. Those in support this motion to say aye, those against to say nay. The ayes have it. Your Excellency, you can now present the 2026 budget before the Honorable House in respect of all indigents and the residents of Zamfara State. Your Excellency, sir.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with profound sense of duty and renewed commitment that I stand before you to present the 2026 Budget of Stability and Growth Proposal. As a government elected on the promise of rescue, reform, and revival, we work tirelessly to restore trust in public institutions, rebuild critical sectors, and lay a strong foundation for sustainable progress. In the past years, we confronted the systemic failure that crippled our state, from broken infrastructure and salary areas to weakened civil service and widespread insecurity. Through deliberate action, we sensitized the payroll, eliminated thousands of ghost workers, and saved the state enormous financial leakages, and implemented a fair and dignified minimum wage for our civil servants. These steps were not merely administrative corrections. They were political choices grounded in integrity, equity, and justice. Today, our rescue mission has moved into a phase of consolidation. Schools are being rehabilitated, hospitals are equipped, roads being built, and opportunities for youth and women gradually expanding across the 14 local government areas of Zamfara State. We have revived confidence in governance, restored the belief that public resources can be and must be used for the public good. The people of Zamfara State, who once despaired under neglect, now visible light, progress, accountability, and renewed direction. The 2026 Budget of Stability and Growth represents the next chapter in this journey. It is not merely a financial plan. It is a political commitment to entrench stability in governance and accelerate the growth of our citizens' yearn, for it is crafted to deepen the gains achieved through our 6-point rescue agenda, strengthening the security architecture, modernizing agriculture for food security and prosperity, upgrading the healthcare system for every community, expanding access to quality education, accelerating infrastructural renewal, and empowering youth, women, and vulnerable populations. This budget prioritizes inclusive development so that no ward, village, or community is left behind. Honorable members, with your continued partnership and the trust of the good people of Zamfara State, the 2026 fiscal year will mark a decisive step towards restoring stability, unlocking economic potentials, and building a future where peace, growth, and shared prosperity are not aspirations, but reality. Mr. Speaker, the 2026 Budget of Stability and Growth proposal reflects a political strategic shift that aligns with administrative rescue agenda under my leadership. Our 2026 recurrent expenditure proposal of 147 billion 279 million 945,000 takes 17% of the proposed budget. It clearly demonstrates fiscal discipline and a responsible approach to public spending. It has ensured that personnel costs and other operational obligations are met without compromising our broader development agenda. When compared with international public finance standards, which recommend that subnational government recurrent spending remains at or below 60% of the total expenditure, Zamfara stands well within the acceptable boundaries. This is evidence that our financial management is not only improving, but aligned with global benchmark of responsible governance. Honorable members, the heart of this budget, and indeed the heart of the rescue mission, is our capital expenditure plan. The 2026 proposal of 714 billion, which is 83% of the budget, marks a historic commitment to rebuilding infrastructure, strengthening security, revitalizing agriculture, and expanding opportunities for our growing youth. International development frameworks, including those advanced by the World Bank and International Monetary Fund, IMF, recommend that said pursuing accelerated recovery and growth allocate at least 40% of the budget to capital development. Zamfara's planned allocation surpasses this threshold by a wide margin, reflecting a deliberate and strategic choice to invest boldly in the future rather than merely manage the present. Under my leadership, Zamfara is moving away from a consumption-driven model to a development-driven economy, one that prioritizes schools, hospitals, roads, energy, as well as economic empowerment. This budget is not just a document. It is a statement of intent, a roadmap of hope, and a pledge to ensure that the rescue mission delivers tangible progress for every citizen in Zamfara State. Mr. Speaker, I am mindful of the fact of the trust reposed in our administration. My background of decades in the financial sector has shaped my conviction that sound financial management, disciplined fiscal policy, as well as strategic investment are the bedrock of economic transformation, as well as sustainable development for our people. In line with that conviction, the 2026 budget proposal is not merely a ledger of revenue and expenditure. It is a blueprint for economic renewal. We are allocating substantial resources to capital works, especially road construction that links rural areas to urban areas, so that good services, produce, and people can move freely across the state. These roads will open markets for our farmers, reduce the cost of transportation, and unite communities long isolated. Beyond roads, we propose significant investment in the Ministry of Commerce through public-private partnership, PPP. with investment promotion avenues to attract investors, revitalize our industrial sector, create jobs, and boost internal economic activities within the state. While we accelerate growth, we also remain committed to fiscal responsibility. Our debt sustainability posture remains very strong. We aim to preserve our standing among states that manage borrowing prudently, ensuring we do not compromise the future for present ambition. At the same time, we aggressively raise internally generated revenue IGR by over 300%, empowering Zamfara to rely more on internal strength and less of external transfers. By doing so, we can guarantee that the rescue mission we promise of security, prosperity, and dignity for every citizen becomes real and lasting for generations to come. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the reticulation and expansion of Zamfara State wide water supply network remain one of the most critical priorities of this administration. From Gusau, Talata Mafara, Safi, Kauranamoda, our people deserve clean, potable, and accessible water. Not only for drinking and household use, but also to support mechanized agriculture, agro-processing, as well as industrial development. Water is the foundation of public health, food security, and economic productivity. It is for this reason that in the 2026 budget proposal, we have allocated more than 25 billion specifically to strengthen, upgrade, and expand our state's water infrastructure. This investment will ensure that every community, every farmer, and every industry has reliable water supply, enabling Zamfara to unlock its full potential and improve the quality of life for all our citizens. Honorable members, the revitalization of our primary healthcare system is not just a policy choice. It is a moral obligation. For too long, the people of Zamfara State have endured avoidable suffering due to weak facilities, shortages of essential medicines, and the absence of functional health centers across most of our 147 wards in Zamfara State. This administration will not stand by while preventable illness claim the lives of our children, mothers, and the elderly. Under the rescue mission, quality and affordable healthcare is not a privilege for the few. It is a right for every citizen, from the remotest village to the busiest township. We are determined to restore dignity, strengthen community health, and rebuild trust in the public healthcare system. It is in this spirit that the 2026 budget proposal commits 17,500 million to upgrading primary healthcare centers across key locations in Gusau, Talata Mafara, Safi, Karanamoda, Maru, Maradun, Bakura, Zurmi, Shinkafi, Anka, Bukuyum, Bungudu, as well as Birnu Magaji. These investments are not merely construction projects, they are lifelines. They represent our political will to end years of neglect and ensure that every ward has a functional, well-equipped and staffed healthcare facility capable of serving the common man. With this commitment, we send a clear message. Zamfara will rise, our people will thrive, and no citizen will be left behind in our march towards a healthier and more prosperous future. For their tomorrow, we give our today. Honorable members, distinguished guests, in our commitment to restoring dignity and efficiency of the civil service of Zamfara State, my administration has taken bold steps to undo years of neglect and neglect of the worker welfare. Since assumption of office, we have raised the minimum wage from a meager 7,000 naira to 70,000 naira, in line with national standard, a reform that ensures our civil servants can meet the basic needs of their families and live with dignity. We have cleared over 13 billion 900 million naira in backlog of gratuities owed to retirees as well as pensioners, a debt accumulated over more than a decade, thus restoring trust and delivering long overdue justice to thousands who serve the state. In addition, the payment of 13-month ends of the year bonuses of 30% basic salary, now institutionalized, has further boosted morale and show our firm belief that public servants deserve to share in the state progress. Looking ahead, the 2026 budget proposal intensifies our investment in the civil service. We're increasing allocation for staff welfare, ensuring timely payment of salaries as well as benefits, and funding comprehensive training and retraining programs across all cadres to modernize the service, improve delivery, as well as boost efficiency. By putting more money into the hand of civil servants through wages, bonuses, cleared pensions, and gratuities, we're empowering households, as well as stimulating local demand and creating a multiplier effect that will enable small businesses and commerce across the state to thrive. Moreover, by equipping our workforce through training, provision of necessary tools, including vehicles where needed, and ensuring enhanced working conditions, we lay the foundation for a civil service standard of excellence, accountability, and professionalism that compares favorably with the best in Nigeria and beyond. This proposal, therefore, does not treat the civil service as a cost center, but rather as the engine of development, growth, and social renewal. Honorable members, let me also emphasize that Zamfara State is relentlessly positioning itself as a competitive destination for both local and international investment. We are constructing a modern state airport to open our doors to global businesses and accelerate the movement of people, goods, and services. Inshallah, our airport will be launched within the first quarter of next year. And I've made commitment that by the grace of Almighty Allah, next year's pilgrimage, Zamfara will be the first to fly our signal. Alongside this, we have strengthened our public-private partnership framework to ensure transparency, investor confidence, and sustainable long-term partnership. The establishment of the Zamfara Mineral Development Company marked a decisive step toward harnessing our vast mineral resources responsibly and profitably. The construction of the International Conference Center will also provide a world-class venue for global summits. We'll also provide a world-class venue for global businesses summit, trade exhibitions, and investment forum. This center, inshallah, by next year, it will become a reality. Through this strategic initiative, Zamfara is not only rebuilding, we are rebranding, repositioning, and opening our state to the entire world. Mr. Speaker, I wish to draw your attention to the growing and yielding partnership between the Zamfara government and major international financial development institutions such as Islamic Development Bank, ISDB, as well as African Development Bank, as a cornerstone of our agricultural transformation agenda through the Zamfara State Climate Change Adaptation and Agricultural Value Chain Development, ZACADEP, ISDB, and the Global Center of Adaptation are investing millions of dollars to build climate resilient value chain, as well as support smallholder farmers, introduce modern farming techniques and digital agro-extension services, as well as rehabilitate our irrigation system to ensure our our fertile land yields its potentials. Recognizing Zamfara's comparative advantage in agriculture, abundant arable land, significant water resources via schemes like Barclay Irrigation Scheme, and a willing population of farmers, the 2026 budget proposal dedicates 10% of the total budget to the sum of the Ministry of Agriculture. This allocation is meant to underpin investment in irrigation, rehabilitation, agricultural input supply, agro-processing facilities, and value chain development. By doing so, we are transforming agriculture from subsistence activity into structured, market-oriented engine of growth, generating livelihoods, creating jobs, driving food security, attracting private and institutional investment into agro-business across our state. Honorable members, the rescue mission places education at the very heart of Zamfara's long transformation because no society rises above the quality of its learning institutions. This administration has made it a priority to ensure that the Zamfara State University is fully functional and competitive, while also revitalizing the College of Agriculture and Animal Science, Bakura, to strengthen our tertiary institution pipeline. Across our communities from Gusau, Telata, Mafaras, Afik, Arana, Moda, we are constructing and upgrading schools so that every child, regardless of background, has access to safe, modern, and conducive learning environment. Beyond infrastructure, we are designing a comprehensive state scholarship scheme to support talented young people, sponsor critical field study, and bring back our students to enroll into incredible Nigerian institutions where they can excel. It's for this reason that the Ministry of Education commands 8% of the entire 2026 budget proposal, underscoring our commitment to building a knowledgeable, empowered generation that will secure the future of Zamfara State, inshallah. Honorable members, our commitment to inclusive development is further demonstrated through the extensive community-focused road project that touch every corner of our 14 local government areas, ensuring our traditional institution and rural communities are fully integrated into the economic life of the state. We are continuing the strategic construction of the Gusau Magamit Ansado Road and Malamawa Zarume Bukwim Road, both of which critical links for commerce and security. In addition, the 2026 proposal provides for the construction of 94 kilometers Endoton Daji, Dokan Enwal in Daji, Haing Alhaji, Biedi Enkuzus Afe Road, as well as the 53 kilometer Jauri Dogon Kade, Nasarawa Melai, Nasarawa Godal, opening vast farming belts for market. We are also embarking on the construction of the Birnin Zauma, Gumi Bukwim Road, Maradu Makira Road, and Zulmi Rukudawa Road to enhance mobility. This will increase trade as well as security within the state for easy reach whenever there's an issue within the area. Furthermore, we are developing the Lambar Asako Road, including the Asako Bridge, the Lambar Kaida Road, and the Kotokwashi Rawa Ebela Road, Bungudu Road, ensuring that the rural population have reliable access to economic activities. To reinforce this effort, the state has also set aside 5 billion naira for emergency road construction to enable swift intervention where infrastructure is urgently needed. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we must address the big elephant in the room, which is security. For years, Zamfara has battled with criminality, banditry, armed breakdown of social law and order within communities. But under this administration, security has remained at the forefront of every budget, every policy, and every action. The lives and dignity of our people are not negotiable. In the 2026 budget proposal, we continue to prioritize resources for community-level security, supporting our local vigilante structure in coordination with the federal security agencies, as well as deploying modern technology for surveillance, early warning system, as well as intelligence gathering. This administration refuses to bow to fear. Instead, we're building a security architecture rooted in resilience, modern tools, and community cooperation. Yet, we fully understand that security is not achieved by weapons alone. It is achieved by addressing the root causes. That is why our budget strengthens poverty alleviation mechanism from humanitarian support to displaced families to capacity building program that empowers youth with employable skill and steady livelihood. By investing in job, education, technology, and community development, we are cutting off the oxygen supplies that fuel crime and restoring hopes to vulnerable population. The 2026 budget proposal reflects our unwavering belief that a secure Zamfara is possible not through force alone, but through prosperity, inclusion, and government that stand firmly with its people, every ward, every village, and every local government. Mr. Speaker, this deliberation to a close, let me emphasize that one of these ambitions, from security to education, from agriculture to infrastructure, from civil service reform to economic revitalization, cannot be achieved without political will. The unwavering commitment of government and the patriotic operation of this esteemed house. Political will is the courage to make difficult decisions today for the sake of a better tomorrow. It is the strength to remain focused on the collective interest, even when distractions abound. Your continued support, understanding, and legislative partnership have been indispensable in driving the rescue mission forward. And together, we have begun to lay a foundation of a prosperous, secure, and progressive Zamfara state. It is in this spirit of shared responsibility and collective resolve that I humbly submit to this honorable House the 2026 budget proposal of 861 billion 337 million naira. 861 billion 337 million naira only for your careful consideration and approval. This budget is more than figures. It is a roadmap for transformation, a contract with the people, a declaration that Zamfara State will rise stronger, more united, and more determined than ever before. May Allah guide your deliberations and bless the great people of Zamfara State. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Zamfara State, Dr. Lawal. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Zamfara State, Mani Malamumuni. Distinguished colleagues, honorable members, the Chief Judge and Honorable Grand Qadi, the Secretary to the State Government, Head of Service and Chief of Staff, Government House, the Clerk and his team, Zamfara State House of Assembly, the Commissioner of Police, the Director SSS, the Commander, 1 Brigade Nigerian Army, Gusau, the Commander 207 Quick Response Group, Nigerian Air Force, Gusau, Your Royal Highnesses, the Emirs, the Chairman, and the ESCO of our great party, the PDP. Honorable Commissioners and Special Advisors, permanent secretaries and director generals, local government chairmen, head of extra-ministerial department, federal and state, the teaming supporters of this administration, the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. Glory be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for granting me the privilege once again to witness this special day that falls once every fiscal year, upon which I have the honor to lead my fellow honorable members of this hallowed chamber in welcoming His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Zamfara State, Dr. Lawal, in fulfillment of our constitutional mandate and responsibility in the annual budget process. In line with democratic norms and practice, this event serves as a platform for annual engagement where executive and legislative arms of government meet, interact, and plan the government projection for revenue generation and expenditure, which are instrumental to political and socio-economic development of our state. Your Excellency, members of this assembly share the glorious feeling that from the inception of this administration to date, annual budget have remained compatible to rescue mission agenda. What gladdens us most is Your Excellency's firm and unwavering commitment, standing like the rock of Gibraltar in the pursuit of the 6-point rescue mission agenda focused on security, agriculture, education, health care, infrastructure, and social intervention for economic development. With this multi-sectoral approach designed to pull the state out of decades of neglect, insecurity, weak infrastructure, economic decline, and weak public service, the ball was set rolling following due process in all previous budgetary processes. Highly commendable, therefore, are the administration's commitment to key socio-economic sectors, notably, Your Excellency, infrastructure that include urban renewal project, renovation and construction of healthcare facilities, renovation and construction of classroom, construction of modern airport, construction of Goso Magami Dansado Road. On security, establishment of state security trust fund, establishment of community protection guard, prohibition of vehicles and logistics to security personnel. On social intervention, payment of backlog of gratuities to our retired civil servants, grant to small and medium-scale enterprises, conditional cash transfer to adolescent girls through Agile project, and the establishment of the State Disability Board for inclusivity. And also on civil service reform, training and retraining of public service, e-governance and digitalization of government service, renovation and upgrade of office, among others. Your Excellency, the brighter part of this precious experience is that these achievements are laying the foundation for a monumental legacy by which posterity will judge our stewardship under your leadership. It is now seen clearly, much more than ever before, Why there is tangible cause to celebrate the wise and timely choice made by the good people of Zamfara State in the 2023 general election. Distinguished personalities, you can all bear me witness that the above review of the previous year's budgets demonstrate a clear direction and a sincere commitment toward the betterment of our society. Your Excellency, we remain optimistic that this year's budget will complement the achievement already recorded. This House will continue to monitor its implementation through an effective oversight, hence the need for all MDS to ensure budgetary compliance in their expenditures. Your Excellency, various indicators show that Zamfara is on the verge of becoming one of the fastest growing states in terms of infrastructure, e-governance, and the internally generated revenue. It is our hope that the ongoing review and deployment of the State Development Plan will soon be completed, enabling the Honorable House and the key stakeholders to align our annual budget and the other sectoral policies with SDGs goals in conformity with the rescue mission agenda. As we begin to scrutinize this budget and invite MDS to defend their proposal, our guiding principle will include stock-taking and human need assessment through engagement with our constituents and the relevant authorities. This is to ensure that we deliver a budget that is both citizen-centered and realistic. Our doors remain open for input and advice from partners, recognized CSOs, individual and groups. Therefore, I assure Your Excellency that the House will deliberate and follow due process to sustain the passage of this budget for efficient implementation. On our part as lawmakers, it is never out of place to recapitulate our contribution, which complement Your Excellency's achievement from the onset of this administration to date. Recall vividly that we have deliberated often and passed over 40 bills into law under my leadership. These laws, along with several resolutions, were aimed at addressing insecurity and cushioning the effect of poverty and vulnerability among the residents of the state. Prominent among these bills include a law establishing the Zamfara State Community Protection Guard, a law establishing the Zamfara State Security Trust Fund, a law establishing the Zamfara State Road Fund Board for founding Class C and D road in the state, a law establishing the Zamfara State Rural Access Road Authority for the management of Class C and D road, a law establishing the Disability Board, and a law to provide for the establishment of Zamfara State Alternative Dispute Resolution Center, currently in the pipeline, among others. Distinguished personalities, ladies and gentlemen, all the aforementioned achievements and the many more, too numerous to mention, are product of the cordial working relationship between the three arms of government in the state. Your Excellency, we assure you of our unwavering determination to study this budget proposal thoroughly and act swiftly to fast-track deployment through its proper implementation. As Speaker and the presiding officer of this House, I deeply appreciate my colleagues, the honorable members, the clerk and his team for their support and cooperation. Without your unity and support, this achievement would not have been possible. A single tree cannot make a forest. Your collective effort will definitely continue to strengthen. Your collective effort will definitely continue to strengthen this institution. May Almighty Allah guide us as we continue to serve our people. Your Excellency, before I conclude, I wish to condole His Excellency, the Executive Governor, Dr. Doda Lawal, and good people of Zamfara State, especially the families of those who lost their lives, properties, or suffered various degrees of injuries due to recent security challenges. I pray that Almighty Allah grant the deceased eternal rest, heal the injured, and replace all the lost properties with what is most appropriate. Amen. On behalf of the honorable members, I express our sincere appreciation to His Excellency for his constant support and the response to matters presented to him by this House. The ongoing general overhaul and upgrade of our chamber will no doubt provide a more conducive working environment for better service delivery. Finally, I appreciate our constituent for entrusting us with the mandate to serve. Be rest assured that every action taken in this chamber is guided by a good faith and a commitment to your aspiration. As we strive to build a better society now and in the future, we call for your prayers, continued support, and cooperation as we continue to offer ourselves in service to humanity. Thank you and God bless you. Wassalamu alaikum. Distinguished personalities, my honorable colleagues, honorable members, I want to bring to your attention that His Excellency, the Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was selected our able governor, His Excellency Governor Doda Lawal, among the prominent people who are going to be awarded by Mr. President. Congratulations, Your Excellency. My colleagues, distinguished honorable members, having all the content of the presentation by our father, His Excellency Governor Doda Lawal, it is your wish that we suspend Order 12 Rule 18 Sub 2 to allow give the bill its second reading respectively. Those in support that Order 12 Rule 18 Sub 2 of the Zamfara State House of Assembly Standing Order 2024 be suspended. Say aye. Those in support, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Order 12 Rule 18 Sub 2 of the Zamfara State House of Assembly Standing Orders 2024 is hereby suspended. All members, having suspended Order 12 Rule 18 Sub 2, it is your wish that will call upon the clerk to give the appropriation bill its second reading respectively. Those in support this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it.
And 714,057,055,000 naira only for capital expenditure for the year ending 31st December 2026 for the purposes specified in their respective schedules. Second reading.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clerk. All members, today, Thursday, 4th December 2025, this Honorable House has resolved with unanimous consent and gave the bill for a law to provide for the issue and the appropriation from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of Zamfara State, the sum of 861 billion 337 million naira only, with the sum of 147 billion 279 million 945,000 earmarked for recurrent expenditure, and the sum of 714 billion 57 million 55,000 naira only earmarked for capital expenditure for the year ending.
All right, you've been watching live in Guzo, Zamfara State. Governor Lawal presenting a budget of 861.3 billion naira to the State House of Assembly.